But let me take you to the AMA auditorium now.
Inti media uhwe economy no a ne yesikasem nyina uhwe mo ejuma mo ye no is very critical to the economy. Business ekoso yie a na oman no so ekoso yie. Business enkoso yie a eman no enkoso. Inti media miss major goal, February 7th, Mekaye. One of my major goals, Nyame Adom Namibeye Omampenya, is to make Ghana one of the most business-friendly economies in the world. And yet Africa, in the world. It is possible. Yeah, the Inshishe Fufro Eba. To make Ghana one of the most business-friendly economies in the world. Sana me pese midi Ghana eko. Ushia ye tax system ye wo Ghana is complex. And yes, mo ye ejadifo, but me ye sure say muntimin calculate mo tax. Yes, a year ni ba bekaitra so you owe this amount. Namun nim said you mo calculating no. And yes, sir. Mo bana omwatu short punumu. Se muntuya anas before mo bibiye. And yes, sir. Inti me dream hupa a few months ago. Me call Estonia. Estonia, I didn't me call Estonia. Estonia no. Is the most tax competitive country in the whole world. 10 years in a row, we are number one. Into me study omo tax system no. Na me si we omo die, omo ayade, but mamanko ho na omene omonko kasa. Na me hu ade ekɔ ho. Omo tax system no, a flat rate of tax. Flat rate of tax. A 10%, a 10%. Obienim, ufa o calculator, o say, me profit 1,000, 10%, okay, 100, me tax, no. It's that simple. Obiabe timia calculating the tax. So, ye sanoa, not transparency, not corruption, no so, a free. Enti, made the new tax system no Ghana, the flat tax system. The tax system from independence no engagement. It creates room for corruption. And yes, sir. So said Estonia for almost a year no. Sasu na yebe no Ghana. We are bringing in a flat rate tax system. For businesses as well as for individuals. Now, obia, for the poor, no, they don't have to pay apart at a certain threshold. So, flat rate tax system, no, and it is simple. But because yaba with a legacy tax system, no, there are many people with problems. Even from 2015, they owe tax. 2017, and yes, sir. 2019, in Intina say, before this new tax system starts to operate in 2025, we are going to give a tax amnesty to everybody. Tax amnesty, no. Yengina yebe starting on a fresh slate. Obia will owe 0. And we start on a fresh slate. Sano, everybody will start on the flat tax system. The audits of companies and businesses, no. We can do because of digital, no. No GRA staff has to come to your shop. They should stay in the office and assess the tax in a faceless manner and send you the bill. And then number 2, 1 audit in 5 years. So that we don't spend our time auditing the same people. We have many, many more businesses in the country. The focus should be those who have not paid tax or don't pay taxes. So, Sano ebeboy pa. The other thing, yingina yehia pa no a port honoso. It is very, very important. It's a major problem. Usha says here, containers bebre are not coming to Tema, they are going to Lome. And yes, sir, because Tema, your port duties is very high compared to Lome. And yes, sir. So Ubeshe say they will go to Lome, clear the goods there, and then smuggle them into Ghana. Mungina muni masema America no correct. True, yes sir. Na me dream hopa na me say, dear ben ye to stop this practice. Because of that, Munim say, even when you have cleared goods at the port, then officers will be on the road, they are stopping you. Because they think they have been smuggled from Togo. And yes, sir. So how do I address this problem? The problem is addressed in a couple of ways. Number 1, Yami adum na me betena ekitastia noa. Mekitastia noa. The duties at the Tema port cannot be higher than the Lome port. That will be policy. That will be policy. We will be lower or the same as Lome port. That's our immediate competitor. So if you are higher, you are uncompetitive. And yes, sir. So as a matter of policy, we will not charge duties that are higher than Lome. So once we do that, there is no incentive to smuggle the goods to Lome and bring them to Ghana. And yes, sir, that is exactly what will happen. So we'll benchmark our duties to Lome port. By the way, in the past, they were also benchmarking to Ghana. So now we are going to make sure, say, your duty no, and bro and sing Lome mo omo duty no. So then you know that there is no incentive to smuggle. Therefore, there is no need for officers to be on the way to be stopping goods that have already been cleared from Tema port. We will have to withdraw all of those officers and leave the traders to take their goods when they come. Because you cannot say that they brought it in without paying duty. They brought it from Lome. That would have been paid already. So they don't need, they would rather come through Ghana if the duties are the same or lower. That is one thing that we are going to do. The other thing, Noah, say here, as far as the port duties are concerned, and this is a very serious point, reformer, medeba. And you understand this more than anybody in economic management. One of the major problems are the exchange rate dominates pricing in Ghana. Odi niema eba, wefri niema na wa import na niema na wa kwan so. At the time odi niema yi eto ship yi so. Wa calculate your duty o. But niema yi be drupe na almost say exchange rate assessance, so you have to pay more duty. Now, who pay more duty? No. Now, wako ejum say all the price no so because. Now, dream ho na me ton we a just a me sign call ton biu. Now, exchange rate no so e cost biu ma le dey be na ba ye. Now this price no so a cost biu. Enti Minimpa. We need predictability. The absence of predictability, no. Said only say we may be this amount for this car, this amount for this used clothes, this amount for these spare parts. Na onim. Then they rush to increase prices because of exchange rate depreciation. No, it will go away. I want us to move towards more specific duties rather than ad valorem duties. Me say, spare parts, for example, 40-foot container, 20-foot container. Let us, and I've asked my people, Professor Oteha, or he's part of the team doing the work. Let us, 40-foot container, this is the amount in CDSA OB2. 20-foot container, this is the amount. Agreed. Once you start importing, you know what you have to pay. And yes, sir, if you are bringing chicken, 40-foot container, this is the amount. 20-foot container, this is the amount. Used clothing, 40-foot container, this is the amount. And yes, sir, flat rate. Yeyane sanwa, then kululu no, ebecha. Everybody knows. Unko farsa obinko system no munko sasa bibi mao. And yes, sir, so a bold solution. Because you know in the air so you need transparency and clarity. So move towards a flat rate system. And Mimi Gidi say, government bring more revenue than what we are doing now. Because se say no, muya kululu noa, sarasika no emba government ho no, emba government ho, emba government ho. Sa kululu sikano, eko baby, so but we. U crowd name na ba unim say we there me duty no 20,000 Ghana cedis 30,000 Ghana cedis ensesa ni be dua sa na metua is in cities. It's that simple. So we move to specific duty rates rather than ad valorem duty rates. No, you bring more compliance because it's simple. It's very simple. Enti sa ena me pese yedi ye na ushasua another and so that runs through many of these issues. Shipping line charges no, any demurrage charges no. I think that the committee be at toho. I don't know, say, where you were at the last EMT, the committee be na so because ampa osha omusisi on the demurrage and the shipping line charges because who compare your subrogation now, the highest. And it's the same shipping line going across. Into adding, why are we paying the highest? It doesn't make sense. So we have to look at it. Auction system, no, Chairman, President Kaye, in terms of the implementation of the auction system, I think it is a problem generally. Mr. President, you know more better so that we design a proper and more effective auction system. Otherwise, say the okay, vultures are looking at the cars. So say car with the metal power. Now, we mean to no matter. And we will look at we will have to sit down and come up with a good system as far as the auction system is concerned. In addition to the flat tax system, VAT, we are going to reform it. It will become a uniform system so that everybody is captured under it. Because this is how we have to do it. And you will see, say, your manifesto no so ba the reform for VAT eba. It will be simple cra na obia enho atono. Now another issue government expenditure, President Kaye, as far as value for money na dear, I think it's very important. Mima Baino is going to be a business-centered government. A business-centered government. Bawumia means business. Because I'll be a business-centered government. And Saninti, I want to reduce government expenditure. Because government expenditure does one. Now, borrowing goes up. Borrowing goes up, now interest rates goes up. And yes, sir. I want adia many many things are government here, private sector so bit me. So I want us to move quite a lot of government expenditure from government to the private sector. So private sector, it me yes then government borrowing no a better form. It's a new agenda yedeba and a bebuayem pa. A bebuayem. The issue of patronizing made in Ghana goods is very, very important. But one of the things that we have to help the manufacturers saying the cost of electricity is very high. And yes, sir, the cost of electricity is very high. Usha and in our sub-region is very high. Even our electricity costs more than the US. So my dream home, a day I may pese me de bano, me pese ye movie away from diesel gas more towards solar power. Solar power. Solar power me pese within the first 4 years na me de 2,000 megawatts of solar power about Ghana. 2,000 megawatts. That is half our consumption to start with. And yeyene sanwa ube say the solar power prices a better form, and that happens, electricity prices will fall significantly, and that is where we are going with solar power. The etosono so yede ushare abrochiri said the name echo howard abrochiri for omuwo credit system na ebo omuno yede ye ni credit system onu so usha obi ye ejuma wa abrochiri yetua no $500 mpo a obetimi ato niema up to 5,000 on credit. And yes, sir. Now, Ghana na yetua $500 Ghana. Obetimi ato on credit. Untobibia. You don't have access to credit. Since World Bank of Ghana, that has been one of my major issues, sir. Me pese yemai esesa. But first, na ye ni critical infrastructure yedip credit system ebeba Ghana. Na ye ni unique identity enti na yedi Ghana card no buy. Ye ni unique address system enti na yedi digital address aba. Na ye databases DVLA na SNAT na ya integrated databases adifufuro bi eba. Adifufuro bi eba. And before June ebeba. The key to a credit system in Ghana. Yedeba Ghana. And what is the key? The key to the credit system, no, any individual credit reporting. Obia any credit score. Say uko bank eko jibusia, umunim se obetuya anase untuya. But obia ewo credit score noa. Udie o credit score ye papa ye bema o loan no. Yes sir. Na udie o credit score eta form cry ye ma uzikana untuya. But say ye the new model ye eba. Enche biya ye be share na mu nyina na mu enya mu credit scores. Obia sana abrochire no etio eninti na umutimi nya credit no. Credit scoring system no wo ho. Sa ye be share this year wo Ghana ha a credit scoring system for individuals. Yedeba. And so enche biya it will be launched, but it best started yamiadum before June of this year. Now Adia Amy Nijin said the analysis as far as that is concerned, our system no Mimi Gidi say is even better than the one in the United States. Our credit scoring system no in terms of the various pieces of data into making that credit score no, we have more integrated databases to do it. But with that, no, it's easier to get credit from the banks. And also, mubetimiama nipa credit so because mubetimi who say we obetimi etua anyesa na mo ama mo credit obi beto use clothes and idea obetimi ama the credit and electricals and TV whichever because who show the credit score obetimi aka say we dey obetimi etua unim baby otini nyina. So we are bringing in a whole new thing to help you. Exchange rate, no, so it's a big issue. Say the more cano. Say the exchange rate, no. It's a worrying issue. That idea me say you know, I say two things. The new port tax system no bar. That is one. The also is the gold purchase program. The Pese Bank of Ghana omo peja na omo to gold na ye de back your currency, so that our CD ultimately will have strength sustainably. So ye buy from independence to 2021 and I said 2022 beginning. Na Ghana, you were 8 tons of gold per 8, single 8, for Bank of Ghana. But since the last 2 years, 1.5 to 2 years, we have moved it from 8 to 32 tons. From 8 to 32 tons. So Mimi Gidi say, ye the gold, no, ye more gold, no, ye the back here currency, no, in time. Now ye the fiscal policy no lower government expenditure no Mr. President so can as far as foreign direct investment tying it with local investment me no ya dreampa because Oko Dubai, that's exactly what they do. All there's local counterpart as far as foreign investment is concerned, so you have a lot of inclusion. And from there, let me go to the specific questions. Now, cycle business, central region, Paul Kofi. Say, Omudi almost stop home, but somewhere in Accra they are doing it, and there's no uniformity. So we need policy uniformity. Mene hawa yebekasa. When I live here to understand what is going on there, and we can try and get some uniformity. Madam for na all Kaneshi head of Guta Kaneshino, or passports asem. The higher prices for passport now, even with that, so the delays of getting passports. And also my dream, and with the new policy eba as far as passport is concerned. Usha ene Ghana for over 17.6 million ewa Ghana card. And yes, sir. Over 17.6. You get to say Obia or Daimwa or Ghana card. Ye be ye Ghana card no. Me free passport office. Me say monfa passport form nambra. No more the passport form na bre me. And I me share questions are ewa passport forms no. And I me car say all those questions should also be on the Ghana card. And all the questions you need, information now you need for a passport is also on the Ghana card. And new policy is saying you don't need to go and apply for a separate passport with a passport form if you have a Ghana card. So, your Ghana card, you go to the portal and put in your Ghana card ID number and pay your fee and wait for the passport to be delivered for you because they have all the data. Omo the biometrics, omo pictures, you don't need to go through another process to go and apply for a passport when you have a Ghana card. Emboying, ye sa no so na kululu no asa. Na I you just get very simple. Your name, your Ghana card ID, confirm your address, and whatever, where you should deliver the passport, and then you pay, and then that is it. It will bring you your passport. It's going to be the simplest passport application that we've ever had in the history of Ghana. Albert Obinka diapers no who asem and the sort of duties that we are facing. And I may say we are going to change those processes and benchmark to Togo and so on. Mama China so as far as 1D, 1F and making sure that locals associations have opportunity to actually produce under 1D, 1F. So that is a good idea because that can help us do more local production and push the associations into that area. Ghana Enterprises Agency Waha. They deal with associations. And we have the Omwenya Sika at to Omo BizBox project mo. Mamin kanchiremo 800 million Ghana cedis. Omo CEO 800 million to help businesses. So enye exim nkwana bitimubuwa mo. Associations no. Mone Ghana Enterprise Agency munkodi ankomo to see how you can attract some of these 800 million to your businesses. Ebeboamo. Kantamanto Hardware Association, so mokaye, and that has to do with the foreigners. It's come across the whole discussion. The major issue, any foreigners know. And I'm glad that there is a committee that is looking into this matter. We have to look at it because everybody is saying the same thing. Everybody is saying the same thing because we therefore have to look at it. Kantamanto, member besramo why? Member ho besramo. Then Mr. Uku, Eastern Region, so corruption, indiscipline. Maybe ushe ejuma as far as digitalization is concerned, no. Corruption no apart from kakra in many of these institutions because DVLA is now much easier. Passport office is easier even though it's not where we want it to be. Ports, the paperless is also helping. We call birth certificate is the same thing. So there are many areas yet the digitalization no aba say employing, and it is doing a lot of good for our people. Eric Jamfi, Mobile Phone Association, say neighboring countries are not coming to buy from Ghana anymore because your duty is not high. So if we benchmark to make sure, say, your duty is lower than Togo, we will do a whole different issue. Upper West was on the foreigners issue, and we Mr. Minimo the northern region. So Thomas Ade was also talking about the foreigners, so as far as the migration of the peri-urban to urban, no, the same issue that we are going to look at it. The issue of Mr. Nkrumah was also not okay as far as the foreign influx, no, so it's a big issue. The value used at the port is higher, and port duties will move to specific duties, as I have said, and the same issue goes for the car dealers, taxes. If we can benchmark the taxes to make sure we are not charging higher than Lomi, then you will not